Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on the Season 2 premiere of Humans Who Make Games, Adam Conover talks to comedian Ron Funches and Jean Goudon, creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. On Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone share a perfect recipe for the quarantined cook. This week on Profiles and Eccentricity, they cover the history of the Khorasan Unity cult, folks for whom a flat earth is ridiculous because they believe it's really a concave shell. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for our full list of shows, featuring hosts like Joe Coy, Amanda Seals, Jessica Chobot, and Jackie Johnson. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Benders, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits the funny hits and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population Holmes. Peter
I
Jackson.
walked into a ruse of my own making.
Peter Jackson Holmes.
Peter
the third.
Jackson Holmes.
We've
Have
come.
you heard the lore? I'm sorry.
We've come Holmes. We've come Holmes.
We've come Holmes.
Peter
Return
Jackson Holmes. You just did
Welcome,
a documentary
Holmes.
about the war where you just removed everyone's audio. That was.
Is that?
He did
Wait,
one where he put audio back in.
The World War I documentary. It's supposed to be
You did a
unreal
World War
and
II
depressing.
documentary where there was audio and then you just removed
Took it out.
And they put color in too.
Yes.
Even though they seem to do a really great job, I don't know if as film TV people you watch and you're like, I can tell it's ADR. You know what I mean?
All of
Someone's
it.
like, hey, put down that apple. I'm sure it's great.
I was watching Butch
But I can
Cassidy
tell-
and the Sundance Kid on the plane on the way here, and there were a couple of scenes when they're riding on horses where I was like, that was not on a soundstage. Like, I
My
can hear
God.
the echo of Robert Redford saying, like, to,
Yeah.
Come on over here. But
Bad
they're,
ADR.
They're not in, they're totally in like a big empty soundstage
Yes.
doing their thing.
There
And so-
was that Gilda Radner documentary, and it made me so sad.
Just watched it.
The whole thing made me super sad.
Of course.
Because it's pre-therapy comedy. I made this point on my own podcast where she's just like, and every laugh and every clap I get, that's love. Like
Yeah.
she doesn't like,
Yeah.
it's before we started figuring out that no, it's not.
That's not love.
And then she was like, and I should have gone to that wedding, and I should have been at that funeral, but I got an opportunity to be in a film, a picture.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to be in a car with Jack Lemmon in the desert?
Right.
And then they show the clip of the movie, and it's so clearly footage of a car in the desert that they shot with a B crew.
Yes.
And then her on a soundstage, and they're like
I'm-
blowing dust at her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sweetie, please, you're not going to be there.
You're not going to be
It's
there.
not really an adventure. It's a
She might have showed up.
laborious day.
But she might have showed up.
I want to be there for the B-roll day.
My-
have
camera
just feel it.
My favorite like accidental comedy therapy is in Birdman.
Birdman.
When who plays his ex-wife?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, but who plays?
Michael Keaton plays his ex-wife.
Michael Keaton's in Norbit
Can't remember who it
situation.
is. But she leaves the room and she says, "Your biggest problem is that you always confuse adoration with love." And I was like, "Oh,
That's a good one.
And then I know who played his, I know who was his ex-wife, Monique.
okay."
I'm sorry, no,
Monique.
I'm actually mixing that up with a Steve Harvey interview. Can't stop watching it. Can't stop watching it.
Wait, is that a real thing?
Oh,
Steve
not a
Harvey?
real thing. Steve Harvey interviewing Monique.
I learned that all you have to do before saying something really mean to someone is be, "You're my brother," and then you can say
It's like,
whatever
open it
you
up.
want.
Wait, Monique was mean to Steve Harvey?
They were no,
They
they
were-
went at each other like
they went at each
lifelong
other.
friends
They
with
went at-
cameras on.
Wait,
on the Steve Harvey show,
But
he
like
had Monique
legit
on.
mean?
So no, not mean, but mean in like personal in a way that
calling
felt like
each other out.
You know how, like on a talk show, the greatest moments, if you're on a show, as you had your own talk show and whatnot, the greatest moments
dare
were
you bring up my failure?
Well, no, I thought it was a success.
Failure. It got
It
made.
was a success.
It got made.
How did this get made? Hey, it's me, man. Okay. Kind of Wahlberg.
Kind of
Kinda
a little bit,
Wahlberg.
a little
I'll
bit.
take it.
But the idea that I'll take, bro. If it was a personal, real, actual moment that happened between you and a
For
guest,
sure.
that is always the best. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is what you want. Is what you're looking to achieve. Is not a canned moment.
That's
or a
what
real
you're
thing.
looking to achieve in Crashing.
In Crashing, which we see
real.
many moments,
Real
moments.
moments.
Hashtag real.
Hashtag real. This
Monique.
was too real. This
Really?
was like, I want fake. Give me something like, give me Steve Harvey,
what was one of
dead
the
eyes
things they
spinning
went in?
around on a hovercraft, hoverboard. You know what I mean?
How did she dig deep into the Steve Harvey? That's a
He's-
fake mustache?
I mean, he said-
That's electrical tape?
No.
That's not a mustache. That's electrical tape.
It was such electrical tape that I stood on it. I thought it was my mark.
But, you know, she feel, there you go.
Wow, this is
Well, she
inside
felt like she got
showbiz.
blackballed because she turned down money from Netflix when they were giving other people more money.
Right.
And Steve was trying to tell her, yes, I agree with you, but you have to play the game
have
because
to
so many
fight about
people
it
in my
another way.
family
So-
rely on me,
That's
my
right.
kids and my children.
And
And then
other
she says,
people.
yeah, but you're putting money in front of integrity.
And he said,
What?
I got people that count on me. People
they
I
go
won't
at it.
look in the eyes that count on me. All right, guys, I'm gonna.
When will that stop being funny?
That is
Never.
always funny.
Always.
Do you always
Also-
hold up your baby and do that? Hold your
No,
baby up
I
and do
haven't
that?
done it yet.
You need to do
Come
it.
on. I haven't done
Hold
it.
a naked
Live action Lion King is coming out.
It is?
Yes,
Yeah.
with real animals.
I gotta go.
You got to hold it
We've
up.
done too much.
You gotta
You
hold
gotta
your baby up. Hold your
and do
baby
it.
up.
Into
Go into your meditation chamber, which I hope still exists, or is that
Med
the baby's room?
The med chamber still exists.
Med chamber still exists. Go to the med chamber. Hold it up, the baby.
I have started tossing her and stuff. It's super fun.
It's the
can't
most.
break
Love a
most
good
fun.
toss.
You
They
can't
She
break
loves
her.
it. You can't break her.
They
They're
don't
made
know
of
how
rubber.
much they also should appreciate the catch, but they love a good toss.
They love the toss. She giggles. I can't.
It is
can't
the
handle
fear and
Well,
the,
we've all- yep,
the
go for it.
danger.
Here's the
it's
deal.
danger of not of
My baby loves a good anticipation too, because I go 1, 2,
And you feel
3,
it.
and then she laughs at 1. She doesn't laugh at the journey. She laughs that Daddy's getting ready to be a silly Billy.
She knows you're about to get into some material.
I fucking.
She's like,
love
Daddy,
it.
here come the bits.
Speaking of which, she needs new material.
She needs
If
new
you
bits.
can kill her with ba 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 ba, and then you get the phone out ba ba, and she's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. She's giving you
New
zero.
bits. She's going to tell you whether or not.
She's saying I put money before integrity.
There is a saying
She
in
sends the
basketball
salmon.
that if the referee calls a foul and it shouldn't have been a foul,
Yeah.
then the other team goes to the line to shoot a free throw. Someone will say,
If
and
they
miss
miss
the free throw, they would say, ball don't lie. So ball don't lie. You shouldn't have had that call. You shouldn't have had that free throw. You missed the free throw. Why?
Because ball don't lie.
Wait, the ball knows that
The
it was a
ball don't
bullshit
lie.
call.
It was a bullshit call. Ball don't lie.
We're putting a lot on the ball.
Don't
The
lie.
Spalding people are inflating with air and consciousness.
So when your daughter doesn't laugh at your ball don't
Ball
lie.
don't lie.
Ball don't lie. She's not gonna laugh at your joke.
Bald don't lie. She's
lie.
pretty bald.
Ball don't
She's
lie.
got a fuzz.
Let's get into this
You
because
wanna do a story?
you're bringing a child into a world that we fear is getting dumber. We have to fight back with
We
comedy.
need to fight back.
Dan-
FB with C.
Dan, yes, thank you. That's
FB
it.
with C.
Fight. Why am I spelling it out?
You got
Frozen
it.
yogurt.
Because we're worried that the world's getting dumber and they don't get my
You have to spell it.
instronyms.
That's great.
Instant acronyms.
Instant acronyms?
Inscrinims.
.org.
I'm not on
You guys are the funnest. You're like, I don't know what it is, but you kind of feel like a surprise party.
Every time.
Like it's like a
Because
good surprise. You walk in and balloons fall.
Here
and
we
you're
go.
like, wow.
Every time.
You said Randy and I are the posts in your comedy hammock. We
yes,
put you in.
That's
and we
right.
just let
Did I
you
say
rock.
that?
Yes,
Yes,
That's how I
on your
feel.
podcast.
really one of the nicest compliments.
That's how
I've
I
ever
feel.
received.
On your
You
podcast.
gentlemen
And
are.
there's nothing.
And Dan pushes it.
Yeah,
Dan
there's
pushes you.
Dan pushes you in the. So there's
I just
nothing
keep
better
asking
than to
him,
have you
"You
in the. You're in the hammock. Dan,
I'm in the muck.
Dan comes back and is like, "You want some lemonade?
You guys
You good?
good?
Are you good or not good?
And it's strawberry lemonade.
All right, you ready for this?
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Sent in by Jamie Dorsey at Wiener Dog Crazy.
All right.
She loves them.
She loves them.
Or she hates them. She's got too many.
They're
running
making
around.
me crazy.
Bryant, Arkansas. Don't know. I don't remember us being
Is
in
that a guy's
Arkansas.
name?
No, but
Okay.
it could be. Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
that's like you're in a pinch. Brian,
Arkansas.
Arkansas. How do you spell your last name? Forget it.
AK for sure.
Common. It's
It's
common.
It's Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
That
we
is.
know.
That is.
A man remained in the Saline County Jail Wednesday on an unrelated charge after police say his dentures were found outside a Bryant home where a family believes he tried breaking into their car and home. That's a person who wrote one whole sentence.
Sir,
Whoa.
Yeah.
to the police officer, do we have any DNA? Do we have any DNA?
Do we have dental records? We have denture records.
We have denture records. So he's trying to break into a car and a home.
Yeah. And
So he has no plan.
No.
And now he's got no saying.
Try to bite his way in.
Well, he said, "Let me take these out." Like that's like a woman where like here, like hold my purse is when like some
Hold my
woman's about
nine. Hold my nine
Hold my
wests.
hold my 9 wests. That means I'm
Yes,
about to
fight.
throw down. Hold my teeth. Let
For
me
a
put my teeth in.
second, they thought the Twizzlers guy did it.
Yes.
They were like, was it the teeth that tried to break into our home?
Do you know?
I'd shoot some teeth.
By the way,
The satisfying.
Just watch him explode.
the sound of teeth cracking.
You know what? I'm getting that from the Batman
Yeah.
game where you throw batarangs at all the
Oh,
Joker teeth.
yeah.
Yeah. We're 40. Okay, I'm almost 40.
Just post-dating it.
It's crazy. It's crazy for sure, Mark Mobley says. Mobley made the odd discovery in his driveway Monday morning. Quote, I was throwing some trash out in the trash can.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's where he's
ham on the
putting it.
ham plate,
Ham on the
putting it
ham
on trash in the trash can. It's called the trash can.
What's the deal?
But once you're recycling, now it's a bin. You don't put it in the recycling can.
No.
Same shape, different color. Now it's a bin.
Who wants to compost?
Who are the ad wizards who came up with this one?
Still garbage.
I can't do it. I can't do the compost.
Some people say receptacle. Looked down and saw a set of dentures.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hope.
Yeah. Well, please.
You never know.
You never know.
Mobley called Bryant police thinking someone's false teeth might have been picked up and taken elsewhere by an animal. What animal?
You know,
An eagle.
carrier pigeons.
The talon.
An eagle.
Eagle's
picked it
got a
up,
great sense
dropped
of
it.
humor.
I said carrier pigeons, but is it my thing is, and I've said this before, why is it that people with no teeth always look like they're chewing something?
Yeah.
You know,
They're looking for them.
they're like,
They forget.
Maybe empty gums are fun to play with.
That's
maybe.
true. And phantom teeth phenomena.
Phantom teeth.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of
phantom teeth.
Like phantom leg, phantom teeth.
Phantom teeth.
I love that they thought it was picked up, like just a dog running around with
He said
dentures
bald
in its
eagle,
mouth.
and I
know,
kinda
bald
believe that
eagle's
was
more
Why bring an
hardcore.
animal into it? This is
I
a
don't know.
creative person, not someone dropped their teeth.
I agree.
An animal.
Mobley and his wife posted about the discovery in an online neighborhood page, which is
Okay. Are you on like
Nextdoor.
Nextdoor.com and all that
No,
stuff?
Nextdoor app.
What's that?
Nextdoor.com is like an app.
But it's an app, too,
It's an
right?
app, and it's,
Yeah.
it's
Well, you get the app at nextdoor.com.
Yeah.
/download.
Yeah.
you type in Nextdoor. Hey, I saw somebody suspicious, like checking in the windows of cars, and in Silver Lake. And where we are, you cannot even describe the person because for fear
For
of
problematic.
Any,
Anything you say
hope
is
that-
problematic.
You just hope the person is
Right.
Yeah, and
Like
just-
even if you wrote "looked like they don't live here,"
You're
people
like-
would be like, "What the fuck does that
so
mean?"
Right.
It's
an alien.
Nextdoor is just a chance for people to air every grievance ever. So,
But they do.
So
I've heard it's just
is
neighborhood
insane.
gossip for
Gossip.
everybody.
Insane.
and arguments. And
Really?
Yes,
people
yes,
who
yes,
are like,
yes.
you know what? I've had enough time on MSNBC and CNN. Let's just take it on over.
Let's bring it to
Let's bring it-
Nextdoor.
time to bring
right
it on
now.
home.
Where can I put this anger today?
Or
Which-
someone's like, is anyone going to pick up the tree that like kind of fell down? And then someone else is like, oh, the tree is our biggest problem. And now that's
Yeah.
a
Right.
thing about
Right.
who.
No, actually,
funny
the
that you
bigger
mentioned
problem is
that.
your passive-aggressive tone, and now we're into another thing.
At least they finally said it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pat, for cleaning up all the trash in front of the houses. Then someone's like, yeah, Pat, do you think I can't clean up my own trash in front of my house? And now we're into
Oh,
that.
God. P.S. Have you seen my teeth?
Mobley and his wife posted about discovery in an online neighborhood page. To their surprise, a man messaged them and claimed the teeth were his.
That's what I'm talking about.
He then called them and admitted to trying to break into their car and into their home. Dude, don't
Just say, I'll take the teeth.
Just say a bald eagle picked them up and dropped them off there.
I'm calling about the teeth.
They already have the story.
Yeah, I know.
An animal took them? Yeah.
So what's your?
Why is my car
literally-
window broken?
What if he's like, I'm not giving the animals credit. I rob places.
Yes, he
Dad.
wants the legacy.
Yes.
I also think they probably said, "What's your name, sir?" And he's like, "I did it. I robbed the thing."
I'm the gum gam.
When they read the email in their mind, did they hear like a gummy voice?
Right.
Hello.
A lot of accidental whistling.
Those are my teeth, and I need them back. You just got to get
Break
those teeth
the
back.
window.
Hey, listen. Hey, it's like whistling.
I'm trying to do the whistle for you.
Hey, all right, listen. I brought those teeth back in there. You got those thing, and I broke into your car. I broke into your car, and I broke into your house.
Sure thing. Sure thing. Sure thing.
Summer squash.
It's like the guy from
Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know, fun fact. Do you know the fun fact about the gopher and Winnie the Pooh?
No.
The reason he keeps saying, I can help you out with that. You know, we'll get you right out, no problem. Now, don't. Here's my card. I'm not in the book. It's because he's the only character not in the actual book.
Oh,
So he keeps saying, I'm not
Talk
in
about
the
inside
book.
baseball.
Yeah.
360 cannonball into
I'm
a
not
quarry on
in
that one.
A.A. Milne's book.
That's great. He's not in the book.
So yeah, this guy did not have to serve up. Oh, I'd love to get him. I was there earlier trying to break into your house and car. Couldn't do it. Can I get those dentures?
I'm actually in your neighborhood already, hanging up wanted posters of myself.
Look to your left.
Have you
I'm in
seen?
the window.
Have you
He's
seen
just
this
posing
man?
in them.
Yeah.
It's like a cutout. Have you seen me? Notice me.
It's just the frame.
Old toothless robber.
Wanted me.
This is a Home Alone sequel. You
It
realize?
is.
I know.
Yeah. The Toothless Bandits.
And then the guy's name is Reichard. I guess.
Reichard?
Yes.
Not Richard.
Right. No. It's Reich. I can't even spell this.
It's the third Richard.
Yeah.
The third, Reichard the third.
Third Richard is Jews. Is a little,
Oh,
John-
wow.
not a big fan of.
Not a
John.
fan. The first and second Reich. I was on the fence.
I didn't know, and then the third right comes
Paved the
along, and I'm
way.
like, don't like it.
John Reichard.
That's how I feel about the third Matrix.
That's what I said. Third
Third
Reich
Godfather.
and you're out.
Godfather 3, also horrible.
Oh
on
my
par.
God.
On par. Everything the third.
That's funny.
Not a fan.
John Reichard, who really wants everybody to know what he did and how he failed. He told the woman, the wife, on the phone that he had tried to break into their vehicle outside. He then told her that he also attempted to break into their house before falling asleep in their flower bed.
Wow.
He took his teeth
It is
out.
a bed.
He took
It is
his
a bed. It is a bed.
That's why they call it flower bed. You ever sleep on that?
Where's the flower pillow?
You're sleeping with the daisies.
They call it a band. Where's the pillow? Talk about
Wait, it's sleeping with the fishes pushing up daisies.
Yes.
Jerry? I think it's him. Jerry, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. As long as I say it in my voice.
He called them and told them that he tried to sleep in their flower bed. He took his teeth out to sleep and then forgot them. What, dude? You can't try to rob a place
put it on the nightstand.
and then be like, I'm gonna just go down here.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm
How
late.
uncomfortable is it to sleep in your fake teeth? Like,
Not as uncomfortable as sleeping in someone's
flower bed.
garden.
Yeah.
Do you think it was like he felt bad?
Why is he telling everything?
I think he was like, I just need human connection. This is the plot of the movie Crash.
It's
I
literally.
need you to know me.
Yeah.
I need you to. You've held my dentures.
Been waiting to get caught
Yes,
just for human
just to
How
connection.
share
many
the
ti-
story.
Okay, so how many people who know John Reichard have said to him in his life, okay, just get to it.
We got it. Just get to the end of the story.
Get
What is
to
the part?
point? What is the point, John?
Then I rolled my window down. It's a crank window because I have an
okay.
older car.
John, let's get
I
just
actually
fast-
replaced the alternator.
John,
We don't
fast
care.
forward,
Now
John.
you're on to things that
Fast
don't have
forward.
anything.
Then I considered murdering all of you.
Well,
Okay,
okay, let's
again,
rewind
that's not
back.
what we needed to
Hang
know.
on, John.
I
Let's
took
get
out my teeth and
No,
forgot about it.
John.
I know, that's a very Red Dragon feel to it if you've read that book. Ugh. Okay, the couple told police that the story, quote, seemed very weird. Mobley then reviewed surveillance footage from the cameras outside of their home, and that was from captured the night before. Footage shows a man poking around the cars and possibly trying to kick or push open a front window. Mobley says the man is shown meandering around the property for nearly 3 hours between 2 and 5 a.m.
No wonder he got sleepy.
I know, just looking for a nap.
I can't. He wanted to break into the car to sleep on a cushion for once.
Right. I like the idea that you when you just saying that is he just walked around this house for 3 hours going, I can't. I'm not good at this.
I can't do
Where
it.
would I even
I
begin?
need a friend more than the contents of that cup
Should I
holder.
stick around?
The man believed to be in the video is John Reichard.
Oh,
He was
Well, that's a
also
spoiler.
wanted on an unrelated warrant. When Reichard called the couple again, while the Bryant police were there, they convinced Reichard to meet them so they could give him his teeth back and book him into jail
feels like a
on
trap.
the warrant.
Feels like a trap.
I know. Don't go to a second location. As of
bad?
Wednesday night, Reichard does not face any charges for possibly trying to break into Mobley's car or home.
Definitely, they gave the police station as just the address of the police station, and Reichard pulls up and is like, "Where are these people?
I know.
Where do they want me to meet them?"
Don't know girl got no 800 number?
Yeah, that was a
We were
great
pretty-
old comedy bit.
Whose bit was that?
Somebody's like, you go to the club and you meet the girls. And,
Oh,
you
that's
know, it's
funny.
like,
I
don't
know-
no woman have
I
no
know
800 number?
That's so funny. There was a girl years and years ago on my podcast. It's one of the hardest times I've laughed on my podcast, where I was telling a story about hitting or flirting with a woman, and then her giving her my email, and I emailed her what I thought was like I read the email. This is like very appropriate. Like I'd like to go out sometime.
Proofread it.
And she like didn't reply. And Eliza Schlesinger was a guest, and she goes, "Did you get the email right?" And I went, "Yeah, info@vistaprint.com." And we laughed so hard. And I laughed at my own joke. I was like, "That
It's a
is
great
perfect."
joke.
It was the perfect
Hey,
joke.
great
bakers love their own cakes.
That is the name of my LLC. Bakers love their own cakes.
Incorporated.
Freaky.
Why can't I love my
great.
own joke?
Why
Yeah, I
not?
do.
It's a great joke.
We were pretty
You
shook up, Mobley
should.
says. The Bryant Police Department received attention after posting information about the incident on the department's Facebook page.
Uh-oh.
Quote, "That is what we call taking a bite out of crime," which doesn't even work.
I like taking
No, it
a
doesn't.
bright out of crime.
Yeah? I would rather they
I
said
like
I
that.
the
want
way
to
you
take a
said
Will
it.
Smith movie on Netflix out of crime. Why didn't we like that movie?
Which one?
Which one?
Bright. See,
Bright?
you don't even know
I
what I'm
tried.
talking
Did you
about.
try?
We all tried.
Did
I'll
you finish
follow,
it?
Will.
Did you finish it?
I did because it was a sauna movie.
All right.
I'm a
You had
fancy
the-
boy.
you had the time. You
I
had
got
the
the time.
time.
I'm in a sauna. I'm wet. To like change it on the iPad,
Yeah.
it's very slippery.
Yep.
You leave your teeth.
Yes.
These are issues.
In a sauna movie.
In a sauna.
In a
sauna
sauna.
movie.
Hey, I'm
Does
telling.
Bright hold up? You think
The
Bright holds
movie?
up?
It never works. Oh, that's funny. That's so funny to say. Does a terrible movie hold up? I can't think of a bad
Yeah, I
movie.
mean, it's pretty much the way that you saw it the first time.
Yeah.
Does Coyote Ugly hold up?
Yeah, it
That's
does.
hilarious.
It does.
We'll get
Does
out of
this
here.
flying buttress hold up?
No, ironically, no.
No, it doesn't.
We'll get out of here on this.
Yes.
Let's play a round of Guess the Stephen Agee.
Oh,
Okay.
I
How
cannot
old
wait.
do you think John Reichard is?
Too much fun leaves marks in life. Living hard, you'll pay the price. Who is gonna get it right? Guess the age, guess the age.
Here's what you know. Up late at night.
Yep. Sleepy.
Sleepy.
Will sleep anywhere.
Has dentures.
Toothless
Dentures.
Has a
UCL.
conscience.
Yeah, has
Has
a
a
I'd like to
conscience.
think he has a
Can't
conscience.
break into a car.
Needs a friend. Sleeps in a
Doesn't
flower.
have enough strength to kick
Shares-
open a window.
Shares a little too much. All right, so how old? And Pete, you can go first. Tig, which is in between the two of us, or third when guessing. So you can go first, Tig, or third.
Tig.
Okay. Jay
Jason,
Aran.
go.
I'm going to say he's not as old as we think he is, but he's still old. So I'm saying 54.
54 years old.
I was
from
going to say
Jason's
47 before you said
You
So
still
what do
can.
You can still say that.
There it is. Lock it in.
47.
47.
Our
Mr. Pete
very
Holmes.
age.
I
Our
think
age.
I think he is 67.
67
Yeah.
years old.
I think this is an older man.
Okay.
It's an older man.
All right,
It's
for this-
like there's a guy on his last leg.
This is like a what you say, Sonny.
We'll get out of here, like I said on this.
This is a going in style.
Play along, townies, wherever you are right now. Say your age of John Reichard, because he is.
I'm going to say he's as old as they made Mahershala Ali.
Oh, how good. Don't say anything
I
else
haven't
about
seen
it.
the finale yet.
There's a lot of great HBO on Sunday nights.
There is.
OMG, Trudy, and Crashy.
Trudy and Crashy.
All right, you ready? John Reichard is 32 years old.
No! Matt.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wait, who was the
32.
lowest?
I'm back in Chicago, and every bar is playing that song. Remember that? Remember
Yeah.
those days?
Yeah.
Meth took his teeth away. Love brought them back.
Or Matt took his teeth away and Nextdoor.com.
Do you think when the
brought
cops were there to arrest him, he was like, wait, they don't want to be friends.
Yeah.
Like that's all he cared about.
Poor
It
guy.
is. Who got the? What did you guess?
I guess 54.
54. You said
You
40.
win.
You win.
Yeah.
47.
That's what I
It
was
doesn't
looking
matter.
for.
Pete Holmes.
I thought I won.
You got
Pete
it.
Holmes wins in the first story. When we come back, more with the great Pete Holmes, and we'll be back with more Dumb People Time right after this.
Stick around, make a sound for more Dumb People Town.
It's a trying time that challenges all of our basic assumptions. However, one thing that brings us all together is our common humanity. Now, more than ever, teams must come together and work together to solve big challenges. And Trello is here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format. Plus, tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Teams of all shapes and sizes and companies like Google, Fender, and even Costco all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. With Trello, you can work with your team wherever you are, whether it's at home or in an office. No matter what device you're using, computer, tablet, or phone, Trello syncs across all of them, so you can stay up to date on all the things your team cares about. Keep your workflow going from wherever you are with Trello. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dumb People Town. We got Pete Holmes with us. Dan, do you have another story for
I
us?
do.
All right, let's do
Ready?
it. Thank you.
Sent in by Timothy Chance at Sir Chin Ho. I know.
Timothy
Felt a little-
Timothy Chance the
You
Rat.
complete me, huh?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I watched
Yeah.
that. I watched that.
Ocean Shores, Washington.
Ocean Shores, Washington.
Ocean Shores police arrested a man they said tried to attack.
Yes, but where is this? Where are we?
Very, very
I mean,
inland.
I would love a description of
Ocean
where we actually
Shores.
are.
It's probably at the base of Mount St. Helens.
Is it at?
Ocean Shores police arrested a man they said tried to attack his neighbor with a stun gun and a Yulu knife.
What's a Yulu knife?
What is a Yulu knife?
You only die once. Doesn't even work, but it kind of works.
Yoda?
You lose your life.
You only lose your life.
That's a
once.
Yoda.
Yulu.
That's a Yoda knife.
It's like off-brand Yulu. You drinking Yulu? It's actually
Yulu.
Yulu.
It's
It's a
Yulu.
Yulu knife.
It's a
What's a
knife
Yulu
made
knife?
out of a U-log.
I don't know. Brendan, one of our great engineers and
He's gonna put up a
producers,
Yulu.
If you could
Put
throw up a
up
Yulu
the
knife,
Yulu.
that would be great.
Yulu knife.
Yulu.
You guys aren't filming this, are you?
No.
No, we're
no.
gonna put up the Yulu knife.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, it's like I looked this
Oh
up. It's an
my
Alaskan
God.
knife. It's
No,
native
okay.
to the people
You
of
know what it
Alaska.
looks like?
It's used for cutting like whale blubber and a whole bunch of
Yeah,
shit. It's an intense
it's a
knife.
handle.
Whoa.
It looks like an axe type of a.
It looks like something like
It's like the
Mario
it's
would
like
have to
the-
time his runs under.
Yes.
Like it's coming from the ceiling and it
You're
chops
right.
down.
So if you just took the blade
Great
the
song.
blade off the guillotine
Off the bagel biter.
or the thing off the bagel biter, yeah.
If the axe blade had a handle.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
It's an axe blade.
Minus the long handle.
Minus the
Right.
long
It looks
handle.
a little Lord of the Rings. Nobody
If
likes
your
it.
Yeah.
arm was the handle
Yeah.
and the thing that your arm it turns your arm into an axe.
No. Nobody likes it.
This is no one's first knife. If you own this,
You've got 15 other knives.
I'm thinking about getting a knife. What
Yeah.
should I get there?
Right.
If you buy a Yulu knife, you should be on a list. Unless
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
Alaska and
Yeah.
you're
Right.
getting that
I'm
sweet,
thinking about
sweet
getting
fat.
a Bowie knife, maybe
No,
a
you-
Yulu.
Get a Yulu.
Get a Yulu
Get a
first?
Yulu
Should I
knife.
get a Yulu
Got a
first?
Yulu YOLO, baby.
Don't
YOLO,
be a
YOLO.
dummy. Get a Yulu.
he started yelling at me that he's going to cut me and he had a knife. At this point, and he charged me. I ran around and spun. I tripped just like I did there.
Oh
There's
my
a lot
God.
of not great writing
No,
in
no,
this
no. Okay,
article.
but
Don't spin.
tripping
What are
is
you,
While
Emmett
someone's
Smith?
while
chasing you.
someone's chasing you is like I'm like that is
Yeah.
classic
What
movie.
is it, Dracula?
I know.
I know. I said
Were
I
you the
ran.
girl?
Do
Girlfriend
you know
in a
your
Dracula
neighbor?
movie?
Do you know your neighbors?
I know them by name.
But like, is it
If
possible
someone
they could come at
approach
you with a Yulu knife?
Zero chance.
No chance.
Randy's neighbor. Let's just quickly, just explain. If someone came up to you, Randy, and said, "We found it,"
So my neighbor is a fake Marine,
Fake Marine?
which was told to me when I first moved in 2003.
A valor thief?
I was like, "Is he Marine?" No,
Ooh.
he's got a Marine haircut,
Marine hat.
Marine hat. he flies the flag at half-mast. He got a flag, and he's got a "Don't Tread on Me"
He's
flag.
always wearing aquamarine.
His house is like a barracks.
What are you you're living in the movie The Burbs?
I would repeatedly ask him if he would hear sounds at certain times of the night just so he could repeat military time. You hear that dog bark? Hey, Tom, you hear that dog barking at, last night? And he's like, at 0300 hours? I was like, yeah, at 0300 hours. Do you hear that? So he's a lot of like mess and this all and that. He drops a lot of terms.
If somebody said...
If there was a dead cat...
How do you know he's not a Marine?
Because everybody in the neighborhood is like, he was never in the Marines. I'm like, there's a lot of smoke, I have to believe it. If there was a dead cat in the street, I'd be like, Tom, can you please
go get your
take care of that?
knife?
Can you please take care of that?
Get the Eula knife.
And he would do it.
We have a down feline? That's a negative.
When did it die? At 0500?
That's a negative, Randy.
At 0500?
I'm going to walk the perimeter. I'll let you know if I find any more.
Exactly. I'm going to secure stuff. I was like, secure.
But I mean, I'll take a fake Marine over me.
But if you told me that they dug up his backyard and found 80 corpses and solved all those crimes, I'd be like, mm-hmm.
Really?
Really?
This would be my response. Be like, mm-hmm.
Next door neighbor.
No.
Next door neighbor.
Well, maybe
You don't know
he
your
has
neighbors.
I don't know your name.
Don't know.
David
your
Grant
neighbors.
says, I ran around and spun. I tripped, just like I did there. The writer, come on.
Oh, no.
And
I think he showed the writer what he just did.
I know, but you don't believe
He's
that
like, I
part out.
ran around and then I
Yeah.
tripped, just like I did
Yeah.
right there.
And I know, but you don't need the
hold
full
on.
quote.
I'm getting this full quote on. Hold on. What did you say?
And he swung the knife at me and just missed my back. The Grays Harbor County Prosecuting Attorney Office said, I know, just
Wait,
say
the
that.
Grays?
The
Not
Grays.
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 No,
Not the Grays
Grays
left an indent.
The
No,
Grey's Anatomy.
no.
The Grays.
Grey's
The
Anatomy?
Grays Harbor.
He grazed him.
Grey's Anatomy.
Grays
We
Harbor.
only work on people that have been grazed.
Prosecuting Attorney
First
Office.
you get grazed, then you go to Grays.
The Grazed Anatomy. It's a medical show.
For people that have been
Yeah,
grazed.
just
Okay.
grazed
Did the
by
bullet go
bullets.
through? It went right by his shoulder.
It grazed his skull.
we
We'll bring
go-
him in. Grazed.
How long before we do Glazed Anatomy?
Glazed Anatomy. That's a porno.
Severe.
Put the syrup on the dick. Come on, guys.
Well,
It's
you-
Glazed
yep,
Anatomy.
we just
out
lost a
with the
family of
female
9.
juice.
Thanks a lot,
Okay.
Pete.
The female what?
We just lost a family of 9. There you go.
So,
That
Pete.
joke.
You should be ashamed.
This donut didn't start out as a cream donut.
There we go. The Grays
They're
Harbor
outta
County said the suspect is Lawrence Gadrich.
Gadrich.
Yep.
Gadrich.
Ocean Shores police officers say they know the man, quote, very well. That is
That's all you need to know.
run-ins.
You know
A
that
lot of run-ins.
somebody with a cigarette, like a police officer, was like, classic Gadrich.
This next sentence has one of the number one reasons why I wanted to do this story.
Okay, let's hear
Grant
it.
said the threats happened Saturday around 1:30 p.m. outside of Ocean Lovers Apartments. If you're living there, it's the opposite. The nicer and more tranquil your place sounds,
say
the
the
more
more-
dangerous it is to live there.
The more they
Englishly
evoke
royal.
like older
Royal.
English authors, like Canterbury Gardens.
Yeah.
That's a horrible place.
Horrible.
That's like a prison yard.
Ocean Lovers. Where you live at? I'm over here at Ocean Lovers.
So sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
Shakespeare Arms. I'm in the Shakespeare Arms.
Isn't that where the mass murder was?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
Gonna
where
be.
it does.
Gonna be. Ocean Lovers Apartments, where both men live. He said the tenants were fed up with the activity happening inside the man's apartment and reported it to police.
Yeah.
Quote, it turned into a party house where he was inviting people from the bar to come stay here that had nowhere to go, and there were criminals and who knows what, said Grant. All of us with kids have been on edge about what's going on there in number 3 with Larry. Number 3 with Larry.
Number 3 with
God.
Larry. Number 3 with Larry is what they thought about calling Three's Company.
Number 3.
Because remember Larry was the friend?
God.
Number 3 with Larry.
Yes.
Wow.
Would have been a great name for the show.
Could be a show on ABC next fall. Number 3 with Larry?
How much did they want to spin off the Regal Beagle? You know they wanted to spin that off so badly.
I would
Just imagine the
Is that the
stories.
bar they were at?
Yes.
I would watch a period show made now about just the Regal Beagle.
Just the Regal Beagle.
Yes.
Everything, like a piano bar in there.
Yes.
How red the tablecloths were. Everything about the Regal Beagle.
Big.
And it was like San Diego, so like the air was warm, yet there was carpeting. Everything got trapped in it. Just the idea of like
A warm
just like
place.
there was some weight in the air when you walked into the Regal Beagle at all times.
Police
People
said-
smoking everywhere.
Oh, sure.
Police said they inside his apartment they found a Ulu knife they believe he used in the attempted attack.
Okay.
I wasn't really that scared of him because he's an old man. but he was intoxicated and drunk and on a rampage, and that's why I'd rather run from him than confront him, said Grant. Grant, nobody's asking you
Grant's
to defend
so
yourself.
worried. I ain't no wuss.
Right.
Hey, look, he's an old man.
Would all run.
Right.
Everyone runs from a Yulu. That's the slogan of the Yulu company. Everyone runs from a Yulu. I would have stayed, but I was tired.
Yes. I mean, look, he's old. Yes.
Roundhouse kicks. I rehearse them.
Look, I understand that you're going to think I'm less of a person because I ran from a Yulu.
Oh my God.
Stop.
But you don't. The fact that he's bringing that into his statement just makes me sad.
That he feels like he's got to
gotta
prove something.
justify
it.
Justify it.
Yes.
This is one of the problems. This is one of the problems.
This is one of the
Well, I have
problems.
a bit on stage where I'm like, why do people get offended at fake threats? You know what I mean? Like, who are we trying to live up to? When someone's like, fuck your mother. And you're like, what'd you say about my mother? It's like, he doesn't know your mother.
Yeah. And he
Just
doesn't-
lay it down.
Right.
And I say, you can say anything. You can even know my mother and say anything
My
about
favorite
my
when I was a
mother.
door guy
I
is
can't
the
do it.
meanest things people would say. I'd be like, I want you to understand that right now you're hurting my feelings.
You would say that?
Nowhere to go with
Nowhere
that.
to go.
There's nowhere to go. Like, what? That a lot of that. What?
I want you to
and I'm like,
understand right
you
now.
hurt. That hurts when you say that to me. That makes me feel bad.
Yeah, well, you want me to make you feel bad?
No,
you're already
you're
making me
already
feel bad.
Babe,
Oh,
there's
Well, I'll
nowhere
make
to
you-
go.
I'll make you feel worse.
There's nowhere to go. You
I'll
want to
make
see,
you feel
okay,
worse, and then
makes
you're
me
like, you
feel
can't make
bad.
me feel worse. You can't make me
I've
feel
done that
worse.
on Twitter a couple times.
Honestly,
Right
that
before
hurts
I
my
mute
feelings.
somebody, I'd be like, it hurts my feelings when you say that. Because then they're like, dude, what are you? Why are you doing
that's
this?
how you get an apology.
Makes me
real
feel bad.
fast.
Yeah, right.
But they don't know. You never saw it.
Right, exactly.
Hashtag mute.
Ocean Shores police said Gadich refused to come out of his apartment when they arrived to the scene because he said he was afraid they'd arrest him. Imagine that conversation. We need you to come out, buddy. No. You're going to arrest me.
No.
We haven't said that yet. No. Say you aren't going to. Well, I'm not going to lie to you.
I want to see that Yulu knife. Why don't you bring it on out here, buddy?
You want to see it? Then he falls for that. Oh, look at the handle.
And then
Oh, shut up.
And then he's like, why aren't you running?
Everyone runs from a Yulu. That's what he
This is what
yells
I
as
love.
they're handcuffing him.
Remember this logic. I'm not coming out there because you'll arrest me. Instead, he invited them inside his apartment.
Can't arrest me in my home,
I'm
bro.
on home base. I'm touching home base. You
guys-
can't arrest me.
I'm on Ghoul. I'm on Ghoul right
That's
now.
what home base is.
You guys,
man.
you
Literally
guys
touching
are
home
like vampires. I invited you into my house, and I can send you out if I want.
You can't prosecute me.
What if you guys come in here? We'll be friends. We'll find out, buddy.
Yeah.
Stand my ground.
You want a white
Yeah.
cheddar Triscuit?
Stand my ground.
Police say he was reportedly intoxicated and acted belligerently toward the arresting officers.
Of course.
Said Grant, quote, "It's been a lot more peaceful here since he left." Gadrich was booked into the Grays Harbor County Jail on charges of assault in the second degree. He is being held without bail. That's story number 2.
Can
friends.
someone please call Shonda Rhimes and can we make Grazed Anatomy?
I want Grace now. Did we tell you about? So Jay
How
and I,
about cooked
Jay and I played.
braised anatomy?
Raised
Grey's
Anatomy.
Jay and I played Siamese twins on Grey's Anatomy, like when the show was
Really?
Siamese twins who fell in love with a girl, and we got separated because we wanted to see who she would fall in love with. And in the end,
Wait, she loved both of you?
Well,
She
she was
wasn't
with
sure.
me, but kind of in love
I
with
feel like I'm
Randy.
watching the show right now.
It's a show.
So our dad, when he was alive, may he rest in peace, our dad said after the show aired, and it was at a time when people on the networks, like 25 million people were watching Grey's Anatomy. It was
Yeah.
like at a time when people still watched.
Grey's Anatomy.
There was appointment. Yeah. Because it's
That was good. That was good.
great joke.
Points.
So,
At Pete Holmes.
so our dad said,
At Crashing HBO.
Our dad said, you guys should, afterwards, he saw it. He's like, you guys should call Shonda Rhimes. We're like, we can't.
We
don't
do
have
not know her
don't
number.
know her number. Call Shonda Rhimes and tell her you want to come back on next week and have them sew you back up together. Which we're like,
Your
Come on.
dad
that is
said
ridiculous. Yeah, our dad said that is
Your
really
dad, who has a lifetime of twin sensitivity
We're like,
training,
that is
was like, "What if we sew you back
sewed
up?
you back up?" And we're like, that
You
is
guys
ridiculous.
Look the same."
He just wanted us
Then
to
he
go
jumps
back
out
on the
window.
show.
Yeah, I get it.
But part of me was like, that is the most Grey's Anatomy storyline.
It's kind of the greatest storyline ever.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
they'd
at the
go
end
there.
of that conversation, we're like, Dad, why don't you call Shonda Rhimes?
Yeah, why aren't you writing for Grey's Anatomy?
I've
Richard
tried
Sklow?
spelling out Shonda.
Yeah.
Chandra? On the
Chandra?
phone?
I couldn't even spell rhymes normally.
I
There's an
can't
H in there somewhere.
I can't
know
even.
that.
I can't even
sister?
think of a word that sounds like rhymes that you would say. Okay.
Okay.
Let's take a
I know.
Let's take a break.
At Sklar Brothers.
last story. Can you give us a little teaser of what our last story has?
I was sent this story so many times that is a factor in the story.
Okay, Pete Holmes is with us. One more story on Dumb People Town. Stick around.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey there, Adam Conover here. Humans Who Make Games is my podcast where I sit down with the people who created some of your favorite video games and have the kind of long-form personal conversation we so rarely get to hear. We talk about how they got into the industry, what their favorite games were growing up, and what it's like working in the trenches of this century's greatest new art form. This season, we've got a whole batch of new interviews for you. I talked to Kim Swift from Portal, Alex Preston from Hyperlight Drifter, Anna McGill from Control, and Alex Beecham from the game Outer Wilds. Whether you love video games or you just love learning more about other artists' creative process, I can guarantee you're going to love this podcast. So, you can get Season 2 of Humans Who Make Games wherever you get your podcasts. Take a listen.
Hey guys, welcome back to DPT.
Yep.
Our guest is Pete Holmes. If you're not watching Crashing on HBO, just
Binge it on HBO.
Binge it.
This is the best TV show that's ever been made about stand-up comedy, and it's also about the human experience. About
Oh my God! Some of the issues, I don't want to get into it, but the I think the episode's called Headliner Feature Opener.
Oh, yeah. The Me Too episode.
It's so
Yeah.
funny because we are on.
very good.
We've talked about this on this show. We're on like an email chain with some dudes friend of ours in the Midwest and a bunch of people in the Midwest who they're not in the business at all. There are some right wing people, some left wing. It's a mix of people on this thing. And
there are lawyers, there are ex-NFL athletes. It's a whole mixture of like
XFL?
And this is XFL athletes. And so we would say to them,
hate me.
we would say to them, we'd say, this is, if you want to know what it's like to be a stand-up comedian,
Oh, that makes me happy.
watch this show. If you want to know what we go through on a regular basis, watch this show.
That's how I felt
because
about the documentary Comedian. And when I
me too.
met Seinfeld, I had a plan when I met Seinfeld, I would tell him that. I did meet him, but I didn't tell him that.
You didn't tell them that.
But I was going to say, thank you for making that movie, because you could show it to your parents and be like, this is what it is.
Right.
This is what it
I
is.
still think of the moment in that doc when he's like, "Oh, my friends are on Wall Street. They're making all this
Your
money."
friends?
Yeah, I know. Just before he even says anything, when Jerry's just like, "Your friend? What are you?" Who cares what the fuck they're doing? And I just was like, yeah, you can't. You have to like, and I'm sure we all have those moments that aren't caught on tape,
Right.
But
Right.
but where you just be like, who gives?
But sometimes you need, like, something we say on I say on my own podcast, who have I become? Is like,
A guy
if
with a
you're
podcast.
following a dream, I know, we quote ourselves
The
all the
guy
time.
with the mouthpiece.
But if you're following a dream, make sure you wrote it. That's the thing. So like what Orny is doing in that moment is he's like mourning the loss of a dream that he's not following, that he didn't write. And Seinfeld saying, you can follow the one you did write.
Yeah.
This is how I feel about so many people who are like, I'm not doing this. Or even worse, they're like, I'm eating the ribs and getting shit-faced every night. It's like, was that your dream or was that Anheuser-Busch? Like, who wrote that?
Yeah.
That's
Just like, you can do whatever you want. I love getting this out there. Do whatever you want. Just make sure you were the architect of what you're doing.
So
Love it.
John,
Right?
John, when we got
Do whatever you want.
So all right, this is
Just make sure it was you.
1996. We had our TV show had gotten picked up on MTV. We went to Bowlmore Lanes on 11th and University, right? Is that where it was?
12th and University.
12th and University. And thank you. I'm
so
so
funny.
glad you corrected me. Like everyone's going to be like, well, this story doesn't make sense
So,
now.
okay.
Because he said
Park on
11th.
11th.
No, everybody go to the 11th and University if you don't want to bowl.
Bowl is on 11th. Bowlmore
More
is on 12th.
Yeah, if you want to bowl a little bit, bowl at 11th.
So our
If you wanna
buddy-
bowl more.
John's.
And 11th looks like a split, and you bowl more. Okay.
So we go to bowling with our buddy Michael Dugan, who's our show executive producer, and he brings Jon Stewart, who had just gone through his show, the Jon Stewart Show on MTV, and it was gone. And we said, well, our show's going to go, and we're really excited, and we're nervous, and we were 24 years old, and we said,
Both of you?
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you. I'm your dad.
Hashtag YOLO.
May I rest in peace.
Yulu knife. So he said, here's my advice to you. You're going to make mistakes, okay? Just make sure the mistakes you make are your mistakes.
I love that.
Don't make other people's mistakes.
Because you can live with the mistakes that you make and getting heat for it or screwing up for it. But if you fall on your sword for someone else's mistake, you will not be able to live with yourself over that.
And
so
he
it
was
is
so
it is the
right.
same thing. So if you live a life that's not the one that you were the architect of,
at
and
least fail at what you wanted to do.
and you failed it, you will have regrets on such a large level. You
Right.
take a swing and a miss at the thing that you love to do, and it was your thing. Boom.
Just don't forget that we're dum-dums. You know what I mean? Like
That's what this podcast is about.
advertising and movies and TV are always reflecting into us, into our very soft, impressionable craniums. And we just go like, that's what success is.
Yeah.
And we sometimes you're 80 and you go like, the analogy is like you climb this ladder and then you realize the ladder was against the wrong wall. Like make sure it's on the wall that you chose then climb it. Even if it is the get drunk and eat bratwurst wall.
If
just
that's
make
your
sure
ladder.
that's what you
If
want.
that's your ladder.
If that's what you want. But don't do it because you're like, that's what it looks like I should be doing.
Yep.
Because I'm in Chicago.
Hey, you want it? Bratwurst.
It's right, my friend. Dan, let's get to
Let's
one
get into
more
this latest
story.
story.
Oh, can I tell this?
Yes.
I saw Trevor Noah at a party the other night, and he came up and he was like, Pete gave me the best advice. I can't do it.
That's
He was
good.
like, he gave me the best, the first try.
I know.
He goes, he gave me the best advice. And I was like, oh, I love stories like you did where you quote me,
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
something great.
To me, yeah.
And he was like, when I got the Daily Show, Pete gave me the best advice. And he's telling this to my wife. And I was like, oh boy, here it comes. And he goes, he says to me, what's the worst that can happen? It sucks, and they cancel the show, and then who cares? I was like, that was the advice.
That was my
I
good
gave
advice.
you? But if
I
you
don't
can
know if that's
remember,
such good
it
advice.
wasn't that great. I guess my show had just been canceled, and I was just trying to be like, and you know what I probably said was Johnny Carson had a talk show that was canceled. Jon Stewart that you just
We've
referenced
all been
had
a
a talk
part
show.
of it.
It's fine. You're going to do it. It'll work or it won't, and you'll be fine either way. That was my advice. But it didn't sound great in the retelling. But he did mean it.
But he did, and I've been reading, and if you aren't reading this, you absolutely have to. Gary Gulman's feed. Please read Gary Gulman's Twitter feed and he
It's
posts
really
on
on his Instagram feed.
But what he said was, you want to take the pressure out of a late night stand-up set or an audition or whatever. Stop thinking this is your only shot.
Yeah.
There is no your only shot. This is one of 60.
Right.
So go have fun with it. Go enjoy it. Because even if it goes bad and gets canceled,
That's
what's the
right.
worst that can happen? You're going to have
You'll be
59
fine.
more.
That's
Enjoy
right.
it.
So enjoy it.
Enjoy it. It's true.
Enjoy it.
And that's something that we try and show on Crashing is like
All the
there's
time.
not one break, there's 50 breaks.
Well, that's what Jamie Lee says to you
Yeah.
after you go. This
By
is
the way,
what I've been
can we
working
just
for
have
for 6
one
months.
moment and
Yeah,
talk about
that's
how
right.
fucking great she
Jamie
is
Lee.
and how
She's great.
wonderful of an actress she is?
So good.
Like, we loved her and always loved her as a comic and
Yeah.
and wanted to use her. We used her in this small thing we did when we were in New York, and she was so good at it. It was so
Yeah.
fun to play with her. But I'm watching her on the show, and I'm like, you,
She's
my
real.
friend,
She'd be real.
she be real.
Bald
and
online.
Bald
online.
online. Let's get into one more story.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I was sent this so many times.
Okay.
It's not a lot here, but there's a lot in it.
Be doing it.
Wichita Falls Police received a rather unique call Friday involving, this is in the morning too, it's Friday morning, involving a woman drinking wine in a Walmart parking lot. Employees requested
box.
officers to ban a woman from the local Walmart store after she reportedly had been drinking wine from a Pringles can for several hours while riding around in an electric cart.
There we
That's
go.
the LaCroix of wine.
It is.
It's got a little hint
Wine in a Pringles.
salted
just
vin.
a sense.
Friday
Sour
morning,
cream and onion.
Once you pop, you just get stopped.
Friday morning, the court. Friday morning,
It was actually a tennis ball. That's kind of a Mitch.
Friday morning, in an electric cart, drinking wine out of a Pringles can for hours
That's-
outside of a Walmart.
This
That's
is a
the
woman-
DPT flag.
She is living her truth.
Yeah, that's the architect of your own dream.
She is.
She didn't see that anywhere.
Right.
She's like, you know what? I have an idea. We're out of chips. We have some wine. Is that a golf cart?
There we go.
She doesn't
right.
need
Not even a golf
walls.
cart, it's a rascal.
She doesn't need walls or ladders.
Oh, my God.
She's like, I'm going to drive up this thing in a rascal.
Right.
Oh my Jesus.
The incident began shortly after 9 a.m., and she's already been there hours.
Yes.
There is nothing like a sour cream and onion Pinot Noir. I will tell you that from experience.
May I?
Somebody,
Pringle Noir?
there it is.
Pringle Noir.
There it is, Pete. That's why you're here.
I would call it a Pringle Grigio.
Oh,
we go now.
smell those Chicago bars.
Oh, God.
Remember that smell?
Oh, of course. Stale beer and carpet.
Yeah,
It
and
smelled like
carpet.
the Regal Beagle.
Yes.
Exactly. One evening at the Regal.
Oh, just too long in the lion's den. The incident began shortly after 9 a.m. Friday when that means somebody around 6 or 5 a.m. said, "Where are you going, Shelley?"
She said,
Shelley,
where are you going?
She said, none of your business.
I'm taking the wine. Well, you're not taking any glasses. I don't need a glass.
Where we're going, you don't need glasses.
Doc,
To
her and
see
Doc Brown.
any type. Asshole. Like,
I'm going to
And
get
the
my
thing that
flex
they load
capacitor
the
capacity.
fuel into the DeLorean
he
looks like a Pringles can.
She poured it in.
Shortly after 9 a.m., this all began Friday when officers responded to a call on a suspicious person in the parking lot of the Walmart at 2700 Central East Freeway.
You'd think that the Walmart would be this sort of homing device.
I mean, this is Wichita Falls. You have to add
for
that to the walking tour.
crazy people.
Yeah.
But to me, she's cackling like the Joker in Batman as she's doing figure eights
Or-
in an empty
or-
parking lot.
Slow figure eights.
Or other end, a lot of conversation to just her.
Gonna tell me that I can't
Not
drive
gonna
around on
tell-
this.
I will go over here and I'll drink out of this can and I like to drive like that. No, I don't want your car. Get away. I don't want your
That's
car.
what it sounds like in her head, but it's really, and then her teeth fall out.
Oh, that eagle fucking took him.
You get away, Eagle.
I gotta work tomorrow.
At least it was a Friday.
It's Friday and it's my weekend. My weekend started yesterday.
Like, what, ma'am? What tune are you
Today
singing?
is my Sunday. And
Pringle Grigio.
Grigio. If that's not the name of this episode, I don't know what is.
Pringle
Officer Jeff Hughes of the Wichita Falls Police Department said police were told by dispatchers that they were looking for a woman wearing a blue jacket and black pants. So she's a Crip. The woman was reportedly
cripple.
riding an electric shopping cart, more commonly used for people with physical limitations.
she is
although
a
she was not
rascal.
one of
She is
them.
a Crip.
Officers, that's at Sklar Brothers. Officers,
That's that for your concerns
For all
and comments.
And anger.
Sklar Brothers.
officers were told she was drinking wine from a Pringles can. If you're the cop, you're like, just let's
Here we
find
go.
her.
Let's all come down and watch this.
Here we go.
Our Facebook page needs some content.
Does she have a hat or a cap or a cape? Hughes said the reporting party said the suspect had been riding around in the store's parking lot since 6:30 a.m. while drinking the alcoholic beverage. Nursing that wine. I wonder how many ounces you can get in a Pringles can.
Pringles
Well,
can?
was it filled with chips? And then she was like,
Ooh,
I
you
have
got
an
it. So you're
idea.
more of like an alcoholic mush.
Oh, no.
They're still in there. Good for your
You
gullet.
think they're still in there?
still in
Definitely
there?
crumbs on
No,
the
no,
bottom.
she ate them.
She ate 'em.
What I'm saying was
Might
at
be
6,
a little
she had a wine
crumbs on the
bottle
bottom.
and some chips.
Yes.
She ate the chips.
Yeah.
And then
like,
she was
now
like,
it's time to
let's
consolidate.
east meet west.
Yeah.
I'm a lady. I'm not going to drink out of the bottle.
When officers arrived,
Just the idea. I don't know
She
why.
put it in the little container.
I don't know why I'm
candy
like
snacks.
picturing Bobby Moynihan in a female wig pouring it into a cup going,
Yeah.
shh.
drunk
Everybody
uncle has become drunk aunt.
Drunk ants.
Everybody shh.
When officers arrived, they found the woman in a nearby restaurant, at which point she was notified she had been banned from Walmart. So, first of all, what restaurant?
Yeah.
What restaurant?
Yeah.
Second of all, is that like a subpoena that you get served? You can no longer
Subpoena
come.
Grigio.
And she's probably like, I was never in a Walmart.
Yeah, I'm banned from the parking lot.
I never went in.
It's the worst part. There's nothing to buy there except all those cars.
All right, we'll get out of here on this, and we'll close out this wonderfully delightful episode of Mr. Pete Holmes by asking you guys.
How old?
Nope.
Cup size.
No.
Pringles. can.
Pringles.
I should have paused and let you have it.
No, well, hey, we can have it
We can
together.
have it
Together.
How many times do you think I was sent this story in the first 2 days?
Okay.
And that's when I stopped counting.
Okay.
I was sent so many people. Now, for
On
reference.
Twitter?
Yes. For reference, we have 22,000 fans on the Facebook page. I believe that the Twitter account has somewhere around 7,000.
Okay.
But you need to keep in mind that
People who
per
don't
listen-
follow it
Right.
sometimes just tag you. They just
Right.
Okay.
So it's not. I will tell you this. It's not in the thousands. Okay. But how many times do you think this story's gold? I mean, you
Story's
see that
amazing.
if you're a Dumb People Town listener,
This story
and you
is
see a headline that says
everything.
"Woman banned from Walmart for drinking wine from Pringles
Pringles.
can."
You're like, she is the mayor of Dumb People.
Where do you want to go first?
First,
Take
or third? How many times? You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I won last
Okay,
time.
fine.
You did win.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
golf.
Take your
I'm
crown.
going to give
Pete.
myself a handicap.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a crep joke. Okay. At Pete Holmes. Listen.
At Pete Holmes.
I'm going to say you got it 310 times.
310.
good.
Okay.
550.
Okay. From Jason Sklar.
273.
273.
273 times. That's a lot.
I'm going
You
to tell you
just
this.
$1, Jay.
Overall, all of you might be right. Any of you might be right because I stopped counting after
fine.
2 days.
I like this. I like this.
In the first 2 days, and I will tell you this, I should have told you this as average. If anybody wants to change after this information, I would say on average, a popular story I get sent probably 15 to 20 times.
Okay, so you want to change? Let's
Yeah.
let's recalibrate. Okay, now that knowing that.
Yeah. So, and that's a
20 a day,
popular story.
yeah,
That's
I
a
see.
popular story.
I'm going to say you got sent
In 2 days. And it's only the first two, not total.
71 times.
71. Okay.
Jay,
175.
175 from Jason.
110.
110.
Oh, you just $2, right?
Hold on. One of you guys, just to give you a little bit of credit, we won't play the deeper game, but one of you guys got within 14.
Okay,
Wow.
that's pretty
Okay,
good.
that's good.
In the first 2 days, Townies, why don't you play along? Maybe you're somebody who sent this in, so you know that the answer is at least one. I was sent this story. Oh, and if I didn't say already, the person who sent it in first was Ben Potter at Potter100. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, buddy.
You got in first, and it was a tight race because in the first 2 days, I was sent this story 61 times.
Oh,
Good
Peter
job.
Holmes wins twice. Yeah. The show is crashing on HBO. If you want to know
American Stage
about
Record.
comedy,
Watch it.
it's a show that we love.
If you want to feel like you know what your nephew or niece is up to.
Yep. If you want to
Your
see
weird uncle?
If you want to see a good friend of
that one
ours,
too, yeah.
and by the way, you are doing a fantastic acting job on that show, I might say. Might I say, it's fun to watch.
No, this is how you know it's good. This is how you know it's good. I am able to separate my relationship with you and just
just watch
appreciate
it?
it and enjoy it.
It's not distressed.
And the woman-
That's the highest level of.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
because something
that.
happened. Like, I'll just say this: when you take the shot in the foreground and then go over to talk to Esty about your
Yeah,
set, and
yeah.
then
Rain
we're
and
gonna
I
go back
both
to,
are like,
but don't do
no,
that.
do
Don't
not
do
do
that. Jay and I were literally talking to each other. We're like, don't
do
do
not
that.
go there.
Now we know that's Pete Holmes, our friend, the actor, walking over.
We know
and-
that he has to do that
We
because
know that
that is
in
a television show.
real life, Pete Holmes, Esty is like, please perform here whenever you want. But we literally were like, don't do that.
not do that.
Yeah.
And that because an acting teacher once told us we should never, ever be watching an actor and say, that's great acting. You should watch an actor and be like, holy shit, life. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my God, life did that. And so life is hard, or this is a difficult situation. And that's exactly what we
Oh,
felt.
that's wonderful.
So much more success to you, my
Please
friend.
do watch it. Some people tell me that they're like waiting for it to amass. And the truth is, like right now, I'm fine, but we're waiting to hear. Like
Okay.
other seasons, I've been like, no.
I hope you do.
And I am nervous, but also like we did a really great job.
You did a
But
hell of a job.
Amazing job.
So like, however it goes, it won't be because we didn't do a great job.
You did a great job.
And the woman who plays
but
your
please
mom,
watch it.
the woman who plays your mom, I just
We
want
need ratings.
Is
Audrey.
Audrey is classic Second City actress
Yeah.
from the day. I mean, it's so good.
I
And
know
that
exactly
scene,
what it is.
that scene back at your home and all that. I was
Oh,
like, I
thanks,
could watch
Ann.
these two go around. and
Very
around. So
uncomfortable
I
because
wanted
she
to
was
give her
so
a shout
good
out.
at
I love her.
capturing my mother
love it.
that that was deeply disturbing.
I love it. That is perfect.
My mother does sit on my lap. My mother does that thing. I called my mom today in the car because I was doing something by the airport. Ugh. And so I had a long time in the car. Why did I tell you that? Anyway, she was like, I remember when I told your girlfriend to put on a bra. And I was like, oh boy. There it is on the show.
Watch those gems, guys. Watch those gems.
Pete Holmes, thank you for being on the show. And oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down. It's Dumb People Town.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.